Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into our source material today, looking at the, well, extremely chaotic journey of a woman named Lila. She's a newly single mother, living in North London, trying to keep everything together in a house that seems almost designed to fall apart around her.
Yeah, the sources paint a picture of just sheer overwhelm, really. She's in this North London place, a doer-upper, as they call it.
Right, which is basically a state agent code for a financial black hole nobody else wanted.
Exactly. And she's shelling out hundreds, literally hundreds of pounds monthly for emergency plumbers. There's this, stubborn blockage in the loo upstairs.
And that physical chaos, it mirrors everything else, doesn't it? Her emotional state, her finances.
Totally. Her ex-husband, Dan, he's just cut the child support. About 500 quid a month. Run off with someone the sources call the bendy young mistress, Marja.
Ouch. So money's tight, the house is a wreck, she's exhausted.
And she feels constantly watched. You know, that murmur of appalled fascination from the other mums at the school gates. It's brutal.
It sounds like she's fighting battles on all fronts. And ironically, she's trying to write a book about the joy of single motherhood.
The relentless joy, yes, while living the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So our mission today is really to sift through all this noise in her story and pull out the insights about how life does somehow find a way forward.
Even when it feels like, as Lila says, it just never stops.
It's a really compelling story, actually, about swapping that perfect dream of happiness for something much more real and, a lot messier. And the first big thing that kind of forces her hand is this collision course between the two main men in her life, her stepfather and her biological dad.
Okay, let's start with Bill. He's the stepfather, the one representing, what, stability, continuity?
Yeah, Bill's the anchor, definitely. He's a former furniture maker, described as calm, upright, moved in after Lila's mom, Francesca, passed away.
Yeah.
He gives them that sense of stability and continuity, like an anchor for their vainly bobbing little rowing boat, as the sources put it.
He sounds solid, if maybe a little particular. We hear he only listens to Radio 3, cooks very specific, healthy meals.
Oh, yeah. Lentils, pulses, steamed fish. Very regimented. He seems determined to bring order to this chaotic house.
And he brought that painting, the terrible one of Lila's mom, naked.
Of the painting, yes. It's such a brilliant, awkward detail, isn't it? It immediately flags up all this repressed history he's bringing into an already tense situation.
Okay, so that's Bill, the anchor. And crashing into him, you said, is the comet, Gene.
Gene, right. Lila's biological father. An aging actor, still kind of dining out on his old sci-fi show, Star Squadron Zero. He just reappears in her life. Spins this story about his hotel being double-booked.
But it's not true.
Not even close. Turns out he's pretty desperate. First, he's kippy in the study, then he vanishes. And Jensen, the gardener, finds him fast asleep in the garden shed. Quite peacefully, apparently.
Wow. So he's got no filter, and he's basically homeless.
Pretty much sums it up. He needs shelter.
Right, so you've got Bill, Mr. Repressed Stability, and Gene, Mr. Chaotic Ego, suddenly sharing a house. How does that play out?
Oh, it's pure theater. The tension just explodes. And it centers, of course, on Francesca. And that painting. Gene just says whatever he thinks. No filter at all. Calling Francesca Bill's arm candy, talking about chicks. It's awful.
And he tells Bill to.
Get that stick out of your ass before it calcifies. Something like that. Just classic Gene.
And Bill, the quiet one, he finally snaps.
He does. They end up having this ridiculous fight, literally grappling over a tea towel. The kids think they're joking, but it's real. And in the middle of it, Bill, who never swears, just lets rip. Calls Gene a stupid fing-wanker.
Wow.
And that's the key moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gene's chaos actually forces something real to the surface. An emotional release.
So seeing Bill break helps Lila.
Completely. She just bursts into this laugh that turns into a sob and says that line, bloody hell, it just never stops. It's like acknowledging this sheer overwhelm becomes possible only when the polite mask slips.
That moment of honesty, maybe it forces her to look at other facades in her life. Like her career, her dating attempts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the pressure on her writing is just huge. She's supposed to be writing this upbeat, marketable book while, grieving her mom and dealing with plumbing nightmares. Her agent, Anushka, she just wants a product. She's pushing these awful titles like Stair Lifts, School Runs, and Sexy Times, How I Became a Midlife Minx.
Oh, God. Monetizing the trauma.
Basically, yeah.
And this pressure, does it influence her dating life? Because then Gabriel Mallory enters the picture. The architect sounds like the dream guy on paper.
He's the total fantasy, isn't he? Tall, slim, floppy hair, that shambolic sexiness, and the killer detail. sad eyes,
And
suggest depth,
right, vulnerability. And it starts like a movie scene over a pastry.
the cinnamon bun
Yeah.
from Annika's, yeah.
Yeah.
Very meet cute. Then intense phone calls. But there are warning signs.
Like what?
Well, when they finally have a proper date, he's late. They end up ordering takeaway, eating it at his cold marble table. It just feels off, lacks warmth.
And the truth eventually comes out. The sources nail how she discovers his duplicity.
Oh, yeah? She wants to believe in him, the fantasy. But then she sees him in the school playground with another mom, Jessie.
Oh, no.
And the really crushing part, the specific detail that proves it wasn't just casual. She finds out he used pet names for both of them. Jessie was Karina. Lila was Bella.
He was running plays systematically.
It wasn't a mix-up. It was a deliberate dual operation.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Okay, so the fantasy man is a bust, and the agent is still demanding sexy times content. Where does that leave her?
It pushes her into a really tricky ethical spot. She thinks about the one sort of successful sexual encounter she has had recently with Jensen, the gardener.
Oh, right. Jensen.
And she decides to use it, writes this chapter, My Sexy Times with Jay, or how after 20 years, I got back on the bike.
But she changes it, cleans it up for the book.
Yeah, she tweaks it. Changes how Jensen looks, removes the messy bits like the fact she had to rush Sheen to hospital right before it happened. Makes it neat, marketable.
But this feels like a turning point in the source material, doesn't it? Her integrity.
It really is. Because she starts to realize she's exploiting someone's kindness, someone genuine, just to fit this midlife minx brand Anushka wants. She's cheapening a real moment.
And does Jensen find out?
He does. He finds a draft of the chapter. And the fallout is immediate.
What does she do?
She realizes she just can't do it, can't write shit about people she actually cares about, especially someone decent like Jensen. So she makes this huge decision.
She cancels the book, walks away from the deal.
Yep, walks away from the advance, the whole thing, and pivots. Takes a ghostwriting job instead. Much less glamorous, but honest.
So she's choosing authenticity over the fantasy again, like rejecting Gabriel.
Exactly. Rejecting the fantasy version of herself, the sexy memoirist, and choosing real work, real connections. And we see this theme echo with her daughter, Celie, too.
Right. Celie's having a rough time at school. Social stuff.
Yeah, really rough. Her friends basically just freeze her out. She missed one illicit smoke session, and suddenly she's persona non grata. Feels like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's that awful, quiet cruelty teenagers can inflict.
It's heartbreaking. Who helps her?
Well, surprisingly, it's not Bill, the steady one. It's Gene, the chaotic one.
Gene. How does he help?
His total lack of filter actually works here. He sees Celie moping, walking around slumped with defeat, as he puts it, and he just tells her straight, practical advice.
Like what?
Change your posture, stop looking defeated, and find an outlet for the anger. Don't just swallow it.
Huh. Direct. Does it work?
It does. It leads her to join the animation club at school. And she starts drawing these storyboards of old men fighting.
Bill and Gene.
You have to assume so. It's the perfect, healthy way to channel all that rage and hurt, and it comes in the most unexpected mentor figure.
Meanwhile, Jensen the gardener is still around, providing that quiet stability.
Absolutely. He's the fixer. Literally. Remember that nightmare plumbing blockage? The one costing Lila hundreds?
Yeah, the soil pipe leg thing.
That's the one. Jensen eventually sorts it out. With a bit of reluctant help from Gene, apparently.
So the deep chronic problem gets fixed not by expensive emergency calls, but by steady, hands-on work. Nice metaphor.
Isn't it? And Jensen embodies that preference for the real, the authentic. He likes Lila's quirky old house because it's old. Says he doesn't like new houses. And he shows his care through action. He builds this beautiful memorial garden for Francesca. Giant purple alliums, a handmade bench.
Right.
A Lucian's bench, specifically.
It's lovely. And Lila's shift away from fantasy, it culminates with her car, doesn't it? The Mercedes.
Ah, yes, the Mercedes.
Yeah.
The ultimate symbol of the life she thought she wanted. It was a total impulse buy, this gorgeous, high-spec 1985 380 SL.
For her fantasy life, trips to Paris, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Not the reality of school runs and moody teens. Then a tree branch falls and dents the roof.
The universe telling her something.
Maybe. Anyway, she realizes it has to go. It represents a life she isn't living.
Is it hard to let go of?
It seems bittersweet. Jensen actually encourages her to have one last drive with the top down. Tells her she is a top-down kind of person. Someone who can embrace the wind, the messiness. Then she sells it. Takes a big financial hit. But it's a psychological release.
Okay, so she's letting go of the fantasy car, the fantasy man, the fantasy career. This sets the stage for the big family realignment, right? Which happens at the school play.
Yes, the school play is where it all converges. All the main players are there. And the core misunderstanding, the thing that's haunted Bill for years, finally gets cleared up.
The idea that Francesca cheated on him with Jean in Dublin.
Exactly. Turns out Bill totally misinterpreted a letter years ago. And Gene, who helped Seeley with the costumes, using his old Star Squadron Zero uniforms, by the way, finally sets the record straight.
How does the message get through?
It's brilliantly convoluted. Gene tells Jensen, who's on the phone, to Bill at the play. And Gene confirms. Francesca only saw him in Dublin. She would never have looked at another guy.
Wow. Decades of suspicion and jealousy just, gone.
How does Bill react? It's like a massive weight lifted. The source material says it frees him, shatters that self-punishment he'd been living under. And he doesn't waste any time moving on.
He moves in with Penelope Stockbridge, the piano teacher.
The piano teacher and tuna pasta bake queen, yes.
Oh.
And Penelope's apparently pretty much vibrating with happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill finds his own path to peace, a quieter kind of acceptance.
And what about Lila? How does her world settle after all this?
Things get simpler, quieter. The house is calmer, finance is less strained. She's given up chasing the flashy stuff. She ends up in a relationship with Jensen, the slightly annoying broke gardener, as she calls him. But it's functional. It's honest. He calls her twice a day from Winchester, where he's working. It's built on kindness, reality.
And the final symbol, the bench.
Yes. Jensen builds her a new bench for the garden. It's not the fancy, perfect Lutyens bench like the one at Francesca's memorial garden. It's just an authentic new bench, made by him for her, symbolizing their relationship solid, real, maybe not perfect, but built by hand.
So, looking at all the source material, the journey wasn't about achieving perfection, was it? Not fixing everything perfectly, finding the dream guy, or writing the bestseller.
Not at all. It was about finding peace within the mess, embracing the mismatched family, the noisy reality, the leaky plumbing even. She stopped trying to package her life and just started living it authentically.
It's a really powerful takeaway about valuing what's real over what looks good or what's marketable.
Absolutely. And maybe that leaves a question for you listening to this. If stability can actually grow out of accepting the chaos, what's the equivalent of that deep, chronic plumbing issue in your own life? The thing you keep trying to fix with dramatic emergency measures, chasing the fantasy job, the perfect relationship, the quick fix.
So maybe what it needs is that slow, steady, honest repair work. Like the slightly annoying, opinionated, but fundamentally kind gardener showing up day after day. Sometimes the quiet, non-dramatic fix is the real breakthrough.
Something to think about.
We'll leave you with that thought. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll catch you next time.